Hi folks, this is Ken Paris from your Dearborn City Council. I think today that I'd like to come in and talk to our city clerk, George Durante, and maybe the election supervisor about the upcoming elections, and hopefully be able to get some questions and answers that will answer some of the concerns or some of the things that you may not be aware of about our election. Here we go, let's see if he's in.
Yeah, come in.
Clerk Durante, hey, I don't mean to bother you here. This is obviously Ken Paris from Dearborn City Council.
Yeah.
Megan, hey,
Hi,
how are
good to
you?
see
I just wondered if you might have a few minutes to answer some questions about the upcoming elections.
Sure.
I can, yeah, I appreciate it. And folks, this is George Durante, our Dearborn City Clerk, and Megan Lisbinski, who is our election supervisor. And hopefully you're going to be able to answer some questions. There's a lot of things coming up.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your time. Did you want to go outside
Sure,
or
we'll
a little bit more
we'll
room?
come out. Sure.
Okay, thank you. So anyways, we're here in the area of the clerk's office, down the hall from Clerk Durante's office. Always busy in here. It's the #1 most visited area within the Dearborn Administrative Center. The U-shaped circle that we have here for coming in for different governmental questions and permits, etc. But now that I have you here, and I appreciate you taking the time for doing this, both of you, you know, we have some elections coming up and maybe some changes. So when's our first election? What's going on?
So our first election, our first major election for 2024 will be in February, actually February 27th. It's the presidential primary. And so we're gearing up for that. Actually, in the next month or so, we'll be gearing up for that.
Okay. I understand too, by watching the Charter Commission for a long period of time or attending the meetings, that I know the Charter Chair and the commissioners are trying to push to get this question possibly on the ballot. And that would also be, I believe, February 27th, is that correct?
Yeah, well, they're pushing for it. Actually, we had a meeting yesterday, and that was pretty much the final meeting to wrap up the charter. And so we're hoping it'll get to the governor's office and to the attorney general's office very soon, because they're going to need time to review it. And again, the game plan, as you said, is to put it on that on the ballot for February 27th.
Sure, and I'm sure we're all going to look forward to more information about the city charter, something that's very important on topic on a lot of people's minds.
Yep.
If you can tell me then, what can we expect from the clerk's office, or what can we expect for the elections coming up?
The goal is to make sure everything runs efficiently, as it always has. All 31 precincts will be open and well-staffed, and we're just looking forward to another election coming this February. But we have two other elections also in 2024. One is on August 6th. That's the regular primary.
Right.
And then the big election in November, when we get to vote for president, November 5th.
So it's going to be a busy year.
Very busy year, yeah.
You know, there's been a lot of changes, and I believe it was proposal number 2 on the ballot that people voted for. And it's probably created a lot of changes for you. What's this early voting? What's early voting all about?
Early voting will allow Dearborn voters to cast their ballot in one central location. They won't have to go to their individual polling places, and they will have the ability to do that 9 days in advance of Election Day, starting the Saturday before, running until the Sunday immediately prior.
And then we have a pause of a day and then
We
election
will.
day?
Correct. Monday will be considered dark, and then Election Day will be business as usual.
So what is the difference then between the early voting and absentee voting?
So absentee voting will not change. Voters who wish to still receive their ballot by mail will continue to have that opportunity. If they don't want to vote on Election Day and they choose not to take advantage of any of the 9 days of early voting, nothing changes for them. They'll be able to return their ballot through the mail or any one of the drop boxes.
Another difference is, of course, at absentee voting, you return your ballot to us, and we hold on to that, and we don't feed that into the machine until Election Day. We have tabulators that we tabulate on Election Day. Where early voting, you're taking your ballot and you're physically putting it into the machine to be counted into that machine. So some people prefer to do it that way rather than giving the ballot to us, and we hold on to it for 30, 40 days, and then we run it through the tabulator.
Can I just simply show up on election
Yes,
day? Can
of
I do that?
course.
Absolutely.
I can vote on election day. That's good to hear, that we
Yes.
still have that in place. One question that I don't think that we have had yet or answered, what about drop boxes?
Yeah, well, that's a very good question because of the new law, we have 4 new drop boxes that go along with the one that we already have here. So we have one here in our parking lot at the DAC, as you probably know, and that's one that people normally use. But if it's easier for them or more convenient for them, we'll have 4 new locations, and those will be at Crowley Park, Hemlock Park, Levelgood Park, and Lapeer Park.
And are those maintained? Is there some sort of like surveillance on it to make sure everything's legit there? Are we picking up those ballots? You know, what's
Absolutely.
going on with those?
We will have the same 24-hour, 7-day-a-week surveillance that we have here at the Dearborn Administrative Center and the same pickup location. Chain of custody will be followed, and there'll be a log for us to follow. Time, number of ballots, and everything will be brought here to be processed.
I can ask too, another question of interest for our residents. What about the possibility of Arabic ballots? Is that still going to continue?
Yes, Arabic ballots will continue. It's on the Dearborn ordinance now, so it's part of our laws here in Dearborn. And what we'll do is at every location, if you request an Arabic ballot, there'll be Arabic ballots at every location. We also have sample ballots too, and the sample Arabic ballots will be available here in our office and also online.
You know, another question that I have, you know, looking here, you're usually very busy here at the counter for the clerks, but where can people get more information? Either what's going to be on the ballot, where they can vote, can they call you? Is there some way of contacting you, email?
They can come here in person. They can call us at 313-943-2010. That's the main line for the clerk's office. We also have an elections mailbox that people can send us an email, and that's elections with an S at dearborn.gov.
Okay.
And then
The Secretary of State's office will also have a Michigan Voter Information Center, and that's mvic.sos.mi.us.
Okay, I appreciate that. And what I wanted to make sure that people understand that I appreciate Megan Lisbinski, who is our election supervisor, for being here today, and our clerk, George Durrani, who's always open through questions and people popping in and wanting to at least just say hello. But now at this time of year, we're really starting to look at the elections. Without further ado, I'm Ken Paris from your City Council, and until next time, take care.